Nice. Yeah, I
Don't.
actually, kind of on the same token, I bought a pretty nice iron. What the hell? Rowenta is the name. And,
Oh,
yeah, it steams a shitload, man. Like, that thing will it looks like just a full-fledged steamer, and
wow.
it makes ironing so much freaking easier. Like, the money was well worth it.
Do you have an ironing board that you like? I always find the ironing boards to be cheap and rickety, and they make a really loud, nasty noise when you open them up and shit, and I hate them. The regular
I'm with you
ones.
on that, and no, the answer is no, and if anybody has a good one, then I wanna know about it because mine
Yeah.
sucks.
They have some online that are $100, and I'm thinking, shit, do I want to spend $100 on an ironing board? But maybe that's what you have to do if you don't want it to squeak when you open it up. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be. And, like, the material that's underneath the actual ironing surface is really
Mm.
shitty on mine, and it's now like kind of out of alignment with the board itself, like whatever the padding is underneath
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah, the
it's just a
padding's usually shit. It's
yeah,
just
exactly.
balls up or
Yep,
wrinkles up or whatever.
yep. Who knew we were going to talk about fucking ironing on this Coffee Code Cast?
Well, that's why, there's we keep it broad that way. We can kind of cover. That's why we have the all-encompassing bullshit column for things like
Well,
this for problems.
and it is tech related. I mean, these are struggles that most people have.
Well, we do need maybe this is an area that tech could disrupt. We disrupt transportation. We need to disrupt ironing. Maybe there's a technological way that we can get
Yeah,
Alexa to do this and have a better ironing board.
there
I
you
don't
go.
know.
Alexa, iron my shirt,
Iron my shirt,
bitch.
bitch. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand that.
I'm sorry, that was very sexist.
Asshole.
I hit start again, and apparently we're going now. All right,
According to check, mic check. Hey,
there we go.
it's my very white voice.
Hey,
Tuned
you already
in
sound pretty low.
to the biggest podcast of them all, WBLZ. Zencast Audio. Coffee Codecast coming live from your mutters. All right, enough of that. That was fun.
I like that. You should have just kept rapping. We could have used that.
Do you do any voice exercises before you get on the mic? I tried doing that first week. I haven't done anything in a while.
I should, but I don't.
It's supposed to help. But I think we sound good. I thought the last one actually it went better than I thought it did. Sounded better than I thought
Yeah,
it was going to go.
I would agree. It was a little bit low on energy, I think, just because it was early morning and you weren't probably totally up to snuff, and that's fine. But
I was sober, if that's what you mean by up to snuff. I didn't have anything to drink the night
I
before.
mean, no, you said you went out and hung out with some friends the night before or whatever. So
I know.
I wasn't accusing you of being hungover.
Hey now. No
I
accusations.
know that would never happen.
No accusations here, please. I wasn't sending text messages from the Intercontinental that Friday night, was I? I don't think so.
Go. The way this podcast is going, maybe it should just be like the drinking podcast, because I think one or the other of us is drunk pretty much every episode.
Sometimes that helps the show along. I think that helps build rapport and makes it a little more enjoyable.
Yeah, more relatable.
It doesn't have to be as specific as coffee. Sometimes you like to have tea or booze, and that's okay too. We don't want to discriminate. It's not just a coffee thing, but it is nice. I don't know. Something to think about for the future.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like the Stella Codecast.
Stella. Oh, like Stella Artois.
Yeah,
Wow. If we could get a sponsorship around that. Yeah.
yeah. Sponsor. I'll take a sponsor.
Sponsorship.
I mean, it could be the Bud Light Codecast for all I care.
Oh, well, I'm going to get some flack from some of my friends for that. I have, moving around all the time. I've got friends in different regions, and so now there's such a diversity. Like, I have to be careful what I say. I have a cousin who works for Anheuser-Busch, and so I was talking shit about Anheuser-Busch, and then I realized, oh, he works for him. I was like, well, nothing against them per se. It's just, like out in the Pacific Northwest, people take their craft beer very seriously, and so there's always this kind of antagonistic thing with Anheuser coming in and buying out Elysian Field, for example, and Breckenridge Brewing and all those guys.
Yep.
But I like a good Coors Light as best as the next guy does. That's usually my light beer. Not an Anheuser Busch, of course, but
Well, I mean, that's just because that's what's served at Fuel.
yeah. Well, this time of year, it's nice and cold over at Fuel. The lines at Fuel. Package delivery.
Yes, sir. That'd be my shelf that I stayed home from work today for that did not show up until just now.
Oh, Brian, sorry, man. Got to work from home today. Got a shelf coming at 5:08 p.m. We have a flexible policy. It's nice. What do we want to talk about? We've got a holiday coming up, Thanksgiving. This is our Thanksgiving episode.
It's the Thanksgiving
What did you
Spectacular.
call this? Thankful for technology. That is so nice. Oh, very nice. I
Yeah.
like that.
Sweet.
So nice and sweet. Something a little different. We get very festive this time of year down here. The Coffee and Codecast. And your setup's looking pretty pimp too. Looks like you did some work. Did you move the extendo arm on the bookshelf like that? Was it always up there?
So it's been on the bookshelf because I don't have, like, my desk, if you look at it, there's really no edge to put it on. You know what I mean? Like, unless you clamp it on the front
That's a Murphy
lip.
bed, so that could be a problem if you want to move the bed.
That's exactly right. So yeah, it's on the shelf, and I had it one shelf down on the shelf there before. So the arm had to go like up quite a distance. So today I moved it up one shelf, and I figured, now I can do it standing up if I want, or I can have it kind of angling down at me if I want to be sitting. So works a lot better.
I love that. That's a great shot, by the way, too. You'll have to post that for our listeners if that's possible. I don't even know if you can do that kind of a thing.
Sure.
But
yeah,
that's a nice. I mean, I'd pay some good money for some stock art if I needed my office to look cool. I would pay you $50 to have license to that photo. That's very nice.
Yeah. So what are you doing? What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Are you heading out of town?
I haven't been here very long, as we talked about last time, so I don't want to break with tradition. I got to get the fuck out of here, man. I've only been here for about 4 days. So yes, I'm leaving for Denver Thursday morning early, and we'll be out there for about a week, not quite.
We're sticking around and hosting. Every year we do a what do we call it? Transplants Thanksgiving, since most people I know in Seattle are not from Seattle.
Yeah.
And are like me and don't have a lot of family here. So we just kind of take all comers and host whoever needs to come. So I think this year we're going to host about, 12 or 13 people, something like that. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I have never had the pleasure. I've come over for the tamale thing that you guys do for Christmas, but when I moved into Nolo, we already had a Friendsgiving along the same lines. So I've never had the pleasure, man. Kind of bummed about that.
Last year we did get ourselves into some Cards Against Humanity, which was interesting because Christina's mother was there and participated. So I think for her that was a little bit awkward. I was very entertained, but
was Quincy making some funny faces at some of those cards being read?
Oh, she was playing some pretty. She was playing some doozers.
I could see her getting into it a little bit. I could see her pulling out some racy material every now and again.
My parents were here one other year. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before, and they didn't participate, but they definitely were hearing some of what was being said from the couches, and I don't know that they approved.
Well, that's what's fun about the game. That's kind of nice, get the little shocking off from parents in there. Get them to bed earlier. While you're following up on that, I'm going to follow up on a piece that I had a little gaffe last episode talking about the DirecTV Apple TV promo. So DirecTV is running this promotion where you can get a free Apple TV 4K. And I got it right the first time I said it. I said it was 4 months. You had to be a subscriber of the basic plan for 4 months, which is $35 a month. That comes out to $140. So it's cheaper than the Apple TV 4K by itself, and you get the streaming channels, 60 streaming channels. I said something later on about it being like $89.95, and I got that totally confused with something else that's going on. But it's worth mentioning, if you're a big moviegoer and you like going to AMC, or it doesn't matter, I think Regal Cinema does this too. But Movie Pass is a program that's out there. It's a third-party thing that you can sign up for. And they are running a promotion right now where it's $89.95 for a year membership. I think that comes out to $6 something a month. My math is a little fuzzy, on that right now, and you get to see unlimited movies. There might be restrictions, I think, on some of the like 3D, or some of those theaters now have like the real motion 4DX or something, where like the seats shake and like they actually pipe smells through it. Like some of those theaters, it would be exempt from that, I believe, but it's good for going to AMC. It's good for just going to a regular Regal cinema, and they don't like it because it's unlimited. So I'm not sure how much of a subsidy they get from Movie Pass, but that $89 membership will get you into a theater once a day, every day, unlimited ish. Pretty good deal. If you see one movie, I mean, I only go probably once or twice a month, so that would be a huge thing for me. It would pay for that cost and then some. It's, I mean, one, if you go once a month, you're already doing better, because I think it costs $15 to go to a movie anymore down here.
What's the last movie you've seen?
What did I just see? I just saw movie
I'm gonna guess
in.
it's a superhero movie.
I'm not a big. I mean, I enjoy that too, but I saw Logan in theaters. That was cool. I didn't really understand the whole thing because I don't follow that stuff. I went with a friend who wanted to see it, and I thought, oh, it's a good movie, and he was like crying at the end of the thing, like, oh my god, this is just a terrible, what happened. And I said, well, I don't really know the backstory. I don't watch any of these films. I still haven't seen the full Star Wars end to end.
I don't go to the theater very often anymore, primarily because I'm just not into the whole action superhero movie theme. That seems to be all they put out.
Yeah, there's a lot of that
That or
out there.
scary movies, and I don't really go to those either. So
Yeah, I'm not a big scary movie guy. I go for a good action. I don't remember the last one that I saw, but I saw The Accountant in the theater. That was a while ago. That was good. I go for the move. I go for the popcorn and stay for the movie. That's kind of my deal, man. So, it's time to move on, huh? Today's topic: 3 pieces of technology that you are thankful for. Hey, that's nice. I like that.
yeah, I figured it's Thanksgiving or very close to. So let's talk about what we're thankful for.
Maybe
So,
we could go round robin, like do one, I'll do one, because I haven't thought of 3 yet. I have a few in mind. I need a little more time.
all right. Well, my number one for me was very, very easy because I use it all the time, no matter what room I'm in. And that's going to be my Sonos products, which I use for everything. I listen to podcasts on it. I listen to music on it. I listen to radio on it, everything. So I think I have, gosh, I don't know. I bet you I have 6 or 7 different Sonos products throughout the house. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the products, what Sonos is a wireless connected set of speakers. So in the olden days, you had to get a receiver and run wire all the way throughout your house, and you could create these kind of rooms where you could, from a central receiver, send all the audio from and send it to specific rooms or to all rooms in the house if you so choose. And Sonos makes that really, really easy and uses Wi-Fi networks to do the same thing. So all it requires then is a power cord, and then you can use an app to send the audio to various rooms, and it works really, really well. So that'd be my number one, and like I said, I use that every day. Now it's got the Alexa integration, where you can talk to Alexa and tell it to play whatever is available. I mean, you can tell it, "Hey, Alexa, I want to play the Fleet Foxes on my living room speaker," and it'll start it up, no problem. So it's pretty slick.
So I'm interested in this, and I've told you this before, and I've seen the new product come out. I'm a little confused about it. I read something today that confused the hell out of me in the newspaper. It was in the Chronicle, and they were talking about best products to get for holidays, and that was the one tech thing that came out. There's a few tech things, that was one of them, but they said, so they call that one the Sonos One.
Yep.
Okay, that's a Sonos One, and what confused me is that they made a comment in there that said the Sonos One can be networked with other Sonos Ones, and then it said later on the con was that it can't work with the Sonos Play One, and I got confused because I thought it was the Sonos Play One. So do you know if that's a separate product line? Like, does the Play One and the One integrate, or I'm a little worried about that. They made it sound like you had to have the same breed.
So what I would assume they're talking about there, the only time that you would have them interact with each other is if you hook them up as a pair. So if you it's a single speaker, so it's essentially like, I don't know if you'd consider it mono sound, I guess. But you can hook them up as a stereo pair, so you get a stereo sound from the two speakers instead of just the one.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'm suspecting what they're saying you can't do is pair in stereo a new Series Play One with an old Series Play One.
So you couldn't do in other words, if you wanted to have two on your cabinets, you'd have a left and a right. You couldn't have those paired in that fashion. But if I wanted to have one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom, I could still do that.
Yes.
Okay, well that's better. I didn't really even know that you could have a left and right out of the thing, or even care, because they put out good enough sound. Really, I think.
Yeah, and you can do the same arrangement. So in my living room, I have the Play Bar, which is kind of their TV sound bar.
Uh huh.
And then you can use the Play Ones as surround sound speakers as well. And so you do the same thing there. You pair them as left and right,
Ah.
and you pair the ones to the Play Bar, and then you have a surround sound system.
Very nice. Okay, that makes sense when you've got to try to do a little more of a home theater kind of a thing.
Yep. Yeah, and they have the Play Base, which is the same thing as the Play Bar. It just allows you to set your TV on it rather than kind of it sitting behind or in front of your TV. So
Okay, well, I feel better about that. If it would be a problem for me if I had, or a problem for anybody that has the old stuff and gets some of the new stuff, and then it's like, oh, they can't interact. But it sounds like that's not it. So,
I'd be surprised if you could even buy the Play One, the first edition Play One anymore. Anyway, you probably have to. It's the same price for
mhm.
the Play One with the Alexa integration. So I would assume they're either going to end of life the Play One first edition, or I don't know why you'd buy one anyway. Really,
This is just for people that I know that already have the Play One and might be interested in buying a few more for other rooms,
gotcha.
but wouldn't necessarily need them to be paired in the same room together. So that'd be fine.
I do also have questions, and I don't know if this how I'd find the answer to this, but if you had two Alexa enabled Play Ones that are paired in the same room, and if you ask for Alexa to do something, I know they were working on making Alexa smart enough to, if you have multiple devices in the same room, not answer, but I don't know if the Sonos devices are capable of that. I'd be
Yeah.
curious to see how they would react.
That's a good question. That'd be interesting to see how they should pick up on each other and delegate it to one or the other. Hopefully,
You would think. Yep.
maybe they triangulate your sound, which one you're closest to. I don't know, or which one's active already. Uh,
Well, and ultimately, Sonos itself is what's talking to Amazon Alexa, so you would think that it would know, only one of these speakers needs to be talking
yeah,
or listening or whatever.
yeah, that makes sense. Well, I received in the mail the other day two of those Google Home Minis, those
Oh
little
yeah.
speakers. Yeah, not a Sonos competitor, by the way, but they're nice for. They were free. They came with the Pixel 2 phones I bought, so I figured, what the hell, it'd be nice in the bathroom, and I did put one in the bedroom against your recommendations, Kyle. But I did, I set them up. It was easy to set up, but I found that because I had the Pixel in my pocket, it was doing a little bit of that thing where I would say, I'd say the command. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want it to come on, but I said the command and then my phone came on and the speaker came on. But then the phone, when I said to do something, the speaker did it. So I don't know. It just knew to back off.
Yep. Yeah, and it's interesting that people often try to make the comparison between Sonos and Alexa, or Sonos and the Echo, or
Hmm.
Sonos and the Google Home, or whatever their speaker is called. And I don't personally. I mean, I guess now they're kind of competing in the same space because Sonos has a smart assistant embedded in them. But I mean, Sonos itself is a speaker company. That's their product. Whereas the other ones are smart assistant products, which
Yes.
happen to have speaker capabilities in some of them.
Right.
Or nicer speakers. So I don't really classify them in the same category personally, but a lot of people like to put them up against each other.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a fair comparison. I think it just comes down to price point for a lot of people. It'd be nice to have the Sonos Play, but but maybe not. As if if you can't afford that for every room, then you kind of do some other things. But that's the best experience, and that's the way that I would want to do it in my
Yep.
home if I could, because it's not even really, the speakers aren't really comparable at all. The quality isn't.
Yep. Yep. And they are a little spendy for sure. I mean, it's not a cheap. They're not a cheap product. They're definitely a premium product, and you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. I'll get mine out of the way quickly because it's on the same topic. But I was going to say my Alexa, because I do listen to music all the time, and I leave it on for the dogs when I'm not home. I think it calms them down a little bit. I don't know. I think they
You
like
have like dog park radio.
no, that would not calm them down. There'd be shit and piss all over the place probably if I did that. No, I just have little background music with it, or in the morning getting ready. A lot of times we'll ask for the weather. What's the weather today? Oh, it's the same as it was yesterday. But that we'll use that a lot. Yeah, little things like that. I do order some things off of it too. It's convenient. If I'm doing a task in the kitchen and I'm out of something, then I'll say, "Oh yeah, just order this before I forget," and that's a nice way to do it.
Yeah, I don't use Amazon to order things very often, if at all, and I don't know why that is. I guess I just prefer to look at the phone and search around and stuff like that rather than have Alexa recommend something or select something for me.
Yeah, I still do that majority of the time because I want to shop around, or I want to see what's going on or what the deal is, if there are deals. But there are a few
I do
items.
certainly use the dash buttons quite often.
Hmm. Well, that's interesting. So, what do you use them for? Like detergent and
Yeah, so I have mainly as soaps, I guess would be the primary use. So I have one for Tide for our laundry. I have another for our dishwasher soap.
hmm.
And I know I have one more. I'm blanking on what it is, but I have another one somewhere.
I'd like to use one for beer in the fridge, but I don't think it would get there fast enough. I'm not going to wait 2 days.
Maybe you could put it on the Prime Now. Maybe it's a Prime Now dash
Do they
button.
set? Can you set that up that way? That'd be kind of convenient.
I doubt it.
2 hour. I need this to always be 1 hour delivery. When I press this button, it better fucking be here by the end of the hour. Because I'm running dry. That would be really cool.
They're expanding it though. I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't put like hard alcohol in there at this point. They've got a ton of them.
Yeah, they offer it up for dog food, so I don't know why they wouldn't do it for other things like that too. It makes sense, and that would work fine. That I could probably get away with that. I could just order that on Thursday and make sure that it's there on time, or maybe I order on a Wednesday just to be safe. That's all I really have to say about it. It's just I love having it. I picked it because I know we've been talking these things to death, but it really has altered the way that I do things in my routine. So where I would look things up before, or you know, to see the weather on my phone, or I can do a lot of things on the fly now. I'll ask it to do some more sophisticated multiplication that I can't do in my head, or if I'm in the kitchen, ask it to convert quarts to ounces or something. Whatever, things like that.
Yes. Yep.
Uh,
Set a timer. I use a timer function often.
Oh, I use the timer every day for my coffee. Shit. Yeah, I do that. Like, hey, so that's the French press timer for 3 minutes, right?
Yep. Yep.
So a lot of things like that, especially if your hands are tied up cooking or dirty or from making baking and that sort of thing. It's very nice to have the assistant nearby for that, and I use it a lot.
So I only have the Echo Dot, the little puck device. So the sound on it is pretty subpar, but it does connect to my Sonos system. So it can control the Sonos system, but it can't broadcast its own sound through the speakers, if that makes sense.
Yes, it just has an output.
So yeah, so it's kind of annoying in that respect. This is where having the Play One would be really nice because the sound itself is going to come through the Play One speaker, which is going to be very, very loud and good quality sound.
Mm,
So I may end up purchasing one of the Play Ones just strictly for that reason alone. We'll see.
awesome.
On to the next item. My next item continues right alongside the sound items, and that's going to be my Bose SoundLink over-the-ear Bluetooth headphones that I use every freaking day. I have them on my head all the time. I have them on my head right now, actually, as we record. Yeah,
Religiously.
yeah, I love these things. I hear a lot of people talk about the AirPods and all this other kind of crap, but I really, really love these. I love the ability not to have a cord. I it's kind of stupid, but one of the things that like drives me freaking insane is if you walk through somewhere and your cord catches on something and it rips the earbuds out of your ears, like that like immediately sends me into rage, and I don't know why, but I freaking hate that. So
Good
yeah,
to know.
having them wireless and just being able to get up and go and do whatever I want to do, I absolutely love it, and I use them daily. So,
My other item that I had was the zip car.
ooh, that's a good one.
I I've been car free for almost 3 years. Has it been that long? At least 2.5 years. I don't remember exactly now, but a while. I've been car free, and we have Zipcar in our garage. I've had it in both places I've lived, and it's saved my bacon tons of times. It's awesome. It saved me a ton of money. Uh, and out here in San Francisco, I think I mentioned this before, maybe, but the pricing structure is different. So instead of just being a flat rate per hour, sometimes they offer discounts in the summertime in Seattle. Sometimes they'll offer a break on the hourly rate, but here it seems to be more pronounced based on demand. So I've noticed a few times in the evening or Sunday morning when nobody's doing anything, I can get a car for $3 or $4 an hour, and that's hard to beat because it comes with gas and insurance. So if I need to go run an errand, I took Lauren to the airport early one morning, and it cost me $6 to take her there and back. Pretty awesome technology. I mean, it's a car, but just being able to get in and get out and that sort of thing. And an extension of that too, I would say even car to go and reach now and those services. That the fact that I can just pick up one of those bad boys and dump it off anywhere in the city limits has been very liberating for me. I like public transit and using that too, but that's not always very fast. Sometimes it's quicker just to get a car, and those services have been very life changing for me. I'm very thankful for those car sharing services.
I would definitely tag onto that and agree with pretty much everything you said there. Public transit tends to be fairly unreliable, but yeah, car sharing as a whole is a really, really good program, and we utilize it quite a bit here as well. Car to go, Reach Now. We don't use Zipcar so much, but yeah, we definitely utilize the car sharing programs, Uber, Lyft as well. Anything that we can do to not have to drive ourselves is generally a pretty good thing to do.
Yeah, I should be more generic because yeah, Uber fits in there as well. There's a lot of those different things, and even here in San Francisco, we have Scoot, which I'm a member, but I haven't watched the safety video, so I can't ride yet until I do that. But they're little electric scooters that zip around, and they work kind of like car to go and Reach Now, where you can just pick one up and dump it off somewhere else on the side of the road. Kind of like the bikes that are in Seattle right now. You just dump it off on the side of the road, and somebody else will find it, and you're good to go.
Just throw it in Lake Washington.
Just let it fall down the hill, man. I mean, as long as you end your trip first, you'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
So my last and third item is the software Plex, which I've recently started using. It was recently introduced to me, and I hadn't heard of it actually really that much before this. And what Plex is it's a at-home media server basically. So it'll index your photos, your music, your videos, pretty much anything you have as far as multimedia, and then it creates a server endpoint that you can then hook to with apps from your phone, from Apple TV, from Fire TV, from any of the major players have apps for Plex, and it'll let you stream your content anywhere you need to. So in my case, I had a whole library of iTunes audio that I never used anymore. I just pretty much relied on Spotify, and everything kind of was everything that I used to have from iTunes was kind of stored away on a drive that never got accessed and never got used. And now suddenly all this content is available to me all the time. So I can play any of that music anytime I want. Same goes for any of my personal videos. They're now all indexed by Plex. I can pull them up anywhere. So if I'm with my parents or something back in my hometown, and I want to be like, hey, look at this cool video that we shot. I can pull it up right there without it being on my phone specifically. It's just streaming it over the wire. The other thing that's pretty cool about it is it'll actually transcode on the fly. So whatever server you have it running on, it will, if I'm on my mobile and this video happened to be shot in, some crazy high res 4K, there's no reason my phone should be streaming that. So it'll transcode it down to something that's more suitable for my phone to be displaying. And it just does all that automatically. So really, really awesome software. I really, really, really love it.
Well, if you want to put the username and password in the show notes, I'd sure appreciate that, along with some of our. The Plex is awesome. I don't have it personally, but I saw your demo, and it was very impressive. Just all the different things you could do with it, and how responsive it was. Yeah, I should do that. I used to have Media Center back in the day and did some Media Center stuff, so it's been a while, but that would be the way to go if I did it again.
Yeah, and that's more or less what it is. It's a much, much more well thought out and much better built out media center,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, that's sweet. That's awesome. I'm kind of I wasn't prepared for this. I'm trying to think of a third item, and I don't want to do it half-assed here, but I might be doing that anyway. I don't know. Uh, I thought of maybe like the Philips Hue, although that's not a huge thing, but I do love having LED lights. I'm a big ambiance guy, and so it's very nice to have different colored lights in the house and to have some control over that. So maybe that would be one.
I did think about adding that to my list as well. And did you see they released a new release here? I think they just released it this morning, at least to iOS. So now you can set your routines to turn on and off based on sunrise and sunset for your location, which was something they were missing, and that really annoyed the shit out of me because I'd have to constantly adjust the on and off time in the evenings.
Oh, sure.
So now you can just do that based on sunset time.
Nice.
So
That's a good one. I'll have to see if I got the update on that yet. I would like that. Dim the lights a little. Can you have it just dim down to 20% or what? How does that work?
yeah, anything you can do on a routine, you can base it off of sunrise or sunset. So whatever you want it
Okay.
to do.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that right now. I can't think of any. I'm sure I'm missing something big. Of course, my Kindle goes everywhere I go, and now I've got the remarkable tablet. So just having my content digitally like that is really great because I travel so much, and I enjoy having all my books with me at the same time. That would be another one probably.
And maybe the spin once you get that.
Well, it would have made my wish list if I had it in my house, but I don't know. We'll see. They're making good progress over there, though. I've seen some more updates from people online, and I can't wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be the best. It'll be on my list next year when we do this, when we do our Thanksgiving episode in 2018.
Our favorite products of 2018.
Yeah, that's right. That'll be like the New Year episode. You got to do that, like New Year's Eve episode, favorite products.
Ooh, you want to do an episode on New Year's Eve?
Well, we'll record it earlier. I'm not going to be.
I'm not going to be in any shape to do an episode on New Year's Eve.
No, some interesting things might come out if we do that episode. We'll save that one. We'll record that in the studio well in advance of the holiday. That's great.
Roomba. Do you have a Roomba?
No, I don't have a Roomba. I don't know. Is it worth it? Should I have a Roomba?
I have a Roomba. And I do love it. I actually really do love it. It's nice that I can just kind of turn it on in the morning or something like that as I'm doing other things, and it'll just kind of do its thing and pick up all the dog hair and cat hair and other random crap that's on my floor. And that all sounds well and good. And the other thing that really piqued my interest was setting it up on a schedule. So I could say, clean the house every day while I'm at work. So start at 1:00 in the afternoon or something, and it'd be done by the time I got home. Which sounds great, but the thing that you fail to think about, or at least I did, was that you have to empty the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you don't remember, then it's just going to sit there and do nothing, or it's going to sit there and complain that it's full or whatever it does. But beyond that, I definitely love the product. It does a pretty good job. It actually picks up a lot more stuff than I anticipated it would. The other problem that it does have that I've noticed is it has a hard time going from hard surfaces, which most of our floors are, to carpet or rugs, which we have one of in our place. So it pretty much can't get up on the rug.
That's tough. Yeah, it's not a big lip either. I guess it just doesn't have the oomph to get over that. Huh?
Yep, it detects it as a wall because what it does is it bumps into things, and once it bumps into that rug, it triggers whatever that little sensor is, the bumper, and it turns around and goes the other way. So anyway, Roomba now added some additional functionality, not to the model that I have, but to some of the more smarter additions. It now supports if this, then that functionality, which is kind of cool. So kind of similar to what I was just describing, instead of having it on a schedule, maybe you could say, as I exit the house, it should start cleaning, and it can do that based off of if this then that from your phone. Or another example that they give in their article is if you answer a phone call, like maybe the Roomba stops so that you don't have to listen to vacuuming noise in the background of your phone call, stuff
that'd
like
be
that.
nice.
So pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool functionality. They have quite a slew of options that you can interact with, and I don't know why you do some of these, but there's anything from post a tweet when Roomba finishes the cleaning job to posting on Facebook to the stuff you could do stuff with the hue lights even.
Yeah, flash the lights if there's some obstacle in the way. I don't know.
Or even when it completes, flash the lights or something to that effect. So yeah, so kind of a cool integration. My Roomba, unfortunately, is not quite smart enough to handle this, but still, pretty cool stuff.
I like it. I was jotting down some ideas for some product ideas that I'm going to get to work on after the show. Building some ramps, Roomba ramp. Do we have any ramps out there? The old Roomba ramp.
Dude, there's some money to be made right there.
The Roomba ramp for the trash can, so that thing can drive up and dump itself into the trash. I'm going to work on that. Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
And then, a smaller ramp just for getting up on the carpet, that sort of thing.
Drives right up to your garbage can and unloads.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to do that. I don't think that would be that hard to do. I think we can figure that one out. Put it on our website. Well, very nice. That's cool. That's cool tech. Lots to be grateful for. Like the end of this show. Grateful for that as well.
Episode 5 in the can.
That's episode 5. Coffee Codecast. Take us home.
You can contact us on Twitter at Coffee Codecast. Mike's Twitter is at PragmaMike, PragmaMike. Kyle's Twitter is at Kyle P. Johnson. If you want to shout out us or ask us a question, you can use the hashtag Ask3C, that's number 3. You can email us at coffeecodecast@gmail.com. We have a website. There's nothing there yet, but it's www.coffeecodecast.com. You can also use coffeecodecast.libsyn.com. That's currently where you'll find all our details. You can subscribe to us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iTunes, and TuneIn. We do need to look at the SoundCloud integration. We'll get that fixed up here momentarily. And if you can take a minute to rate us, like us, share us, tell a friend. Seriously, we'd love to have anybody we can listening.